Here we are, just about the broken chain. We're sitting on chain reaction. Got Dave Wong dangling on a cliff here. Just going for a bonus line, getting a little practice in. Just a mellow little 7-foot drop. I mean, his tire's 4 feet tall. Easily 2 tires tall. Just super controlled, set it down. Not a lot of room to do a 180 after this though.
Oh yeah, they'll come down nice and smooth. Turn it around right there before you ever get down.
There he goes. Probably gonna grab front only and just carry the front off. Yep. Using those cutting brakes to help pivot the car right around that back right tire. Smooth.
Nice job, Dave.
Right, so the left side of this canyon is chain reaction. I think that's rated a 9 or so. We're gonna take the right line. We're gonna go up into broken chain. It's above a 10. I've heard debate whether it's 11, a 12, but definitely gonna get into some hard obstacles up in here. John's approach is pretty high on the passenger side. Got the cowbell mounted up on the front of his car, Mad Cow Racing. So he's dipping his rear while he's driving up driver on the front. Try and counteract each other basically.
Too soon, baby.
There it goes. So that back's gonna drop down in the hole, which is gonna let that front climb. It's gonna kick the rear steer right back and right up across that ledge. Nailed it. On the left ledge, the back right is on the right ledge. All crossed up, cruises on through, and then just a big climb at the top, which probably won't even challenge this car. So. There we go, John used his front dig, pull the front end up, then hit forward to just give it that last push it needed. The walls are steep here, which is really hard to stay balanced on, so picking the right line is very important. There it goes. Okay, his rear, he's losing his rear a little bit. Nice and flexed out, rear came right back. Gave it just a bump. There it is. This is what broken chain's known for, the hard obstacles. Oh yeah, Dave's way further down in this canyon than the other car was. Notice how steep the walls are for his tires. You can't turn too soon or else it's trapped in an underhang. Perfect timing on the front. Perfect. Maybe a rear wheel drive only. Perfect. So he's got to stay high on the driver's side to set up for the next canyon. Front left is hanging on by the sidewall. He might go to front only to help bring that front end up. So he's in 4. The suspension started to lift on the front from the binding. I can see him messing with his transfer case, thinking he just grabbed front drive. There it is. Straighten the front to get it to go. Oh. I would leave it in front and continue on the direction he's on. This is just problem solving at this point. Got to be careful not to push too hard. He doesn't want to lose his rear. There you go. He took his rear only, drove it up the wall. Dave's trying to get oil pressure, he says. There we go. Car sounds 100% better. And like on obstacles like this, guys, these are real tough. So even though he slipped a tire in there, he's still going to battle it out and figure out what he needs to do to get out of here. And that's the important part, is knowing how to get yourself out of trouble. Still in 4-wheel drive. 3-wheel drive, grabbing that cutting brake. There she goes. Now he's balanced again. He's got to get the rear through. So awesome. Honestly, he could let his rear come completely off the wall, depending on what that back right has to climb. Once he gets his fronts over these 2 little humps here, it's going to be locked on up top, so it's not going anywhere. So he did a reverse rear wheel drive only, leveled it back out, and he's a little more squared up on the rears. They're both climbing evenly. And there he goes into the V-crack. This one's much more mellow. He's going to go ahead and haul out of here. Here we got John's car. A little bit wider that it is helps keep him a little higher in the crack where the rocks are not so steep, which makes it a little bit easier to balance. There he goes. He's leaned over passenger pretty hard, but he knows he needs to be there to make this crack. Keep an eye on his rear, right about now. Okay, that turn brought his rears right where they needed to be. Rear-wheel drive only. Trying to get it to push just up and over this ledge right there. It's gonna grab 4. There it is. Now you gotta make it through this big opening on there on the passenger side. So he's actually gonna turn a little passenger. I think the move is to go front only here. Once we get that tire pushed into the ledge. His rear is also kicked passenger. Here's the front only. Notice how he's wiggling his steering wheel. That's to alleviate some of the pressure and help the tires start to move, which allows him to rotate and climb up the ledge. Trying to keep his rear balanced so that when the front pops up, it doesn't let his rear come off the wall. So just a little bit on the driver on the rear. So he's crabbing to the driver just a bit. Front only, front tire came off the wall. His rears are still on the wall. But every time he turns his rears, it's slowly dropping into that crack. Real close to losing the rear. There, it just fell on top of the rear sidewall. So he's no longer balanced in this crack. So here we are, driver problem solving. He's got to figure out how to get his car balanced back out. These kind of obstacles is what makes these trails rated so high. Perspective might not come across on camera, but he's really laid over on the driver. Still trying to drive the front up the wall going forward. Now you can also use reverse too. He could have turned passenger in reverse to try and get that tire to climb. There it goes. Car's got plenty of articulation, and what the benefit of this is, because his driver rear slipped off the wall.
Didn't like that.
Because his driver rear slipped off the wall, once the front's up, that takes the pressure off the driver rear, which will help it come up the wall easier. So now he can just turn back into the wall and get it. There he goes, he's starting to turn the rear. Needs a little more aggressive. And his rear tire went right where it needed to, and he's out of there. Great driving. this is the exit obstacle on Broken Chain. I decided I wanted to ride up with John instead of get a video of it, so here's Dave. So this obstacle, notoriously, you have to roll into it. Extremely hard to crawl. There he's up. He got his tires up the bottom ledge. He's gonna work his way over the driver. Just get a little more bite on that driver side. Well done, Dave. Well, boys, that's going to wrap it up for 2 trails today. We ran out and ran Sandthrax as well as Broken Chain. It's been an awesome time. Thank you very much, John. I greatly appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep the rubber side down.